Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 Who You With Curtdog.
Happy Thursday to everyone. What's going on? Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Curtdog. I'm Who You With Curtdog. You already know what tonight is. It's Thursday night. My girl is back in the house. Miss Risky is here. Miss Risky, how you doing today?
I'm so sleepy, man.
Come on now. I seen you over there twerking a while ago. So
Listen, there was no twerking. Maybe my eyeball was twerking, twitching. But I've been working this week. Like,
hey,
it's
trust me, I understand. We all been having kind of a full week. But want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, Twitter. I leave somebody out. Oh, we're not on Instagram tonight, so but we are live. You could chat live with us in the chat room. As always on Thursday, Miss Risky always bring us some history. So we're gonna get into the history, and then we're gonna roll on with the show.
yeah. We're gonna see how many of these I can get through. We're gonna switch it up a bit. About the 7 Native American inventions that revolution medicine and public health. Got these from like live feed in the History Channel. They have a lot more, but I just chose these 7 since, we're going through this pandemic. So, syringes. So, in 1853, a Scottish doctor, Alexander Wood, was actually credited for the creation of the first hypodermic needle or syringe. However, before colonization, indigenous people created a method of using a sharpened, hollowed bird bone connected to an animal bladder that could hold and inject fluids into the body. Um, these syringes were used to do everything from inject medicines to irrigate wounds. There was also a case which were used to clean ears or serve as enemas. Second thing, oral birth control. So, introduced in the United States in the 1960s as a means of preventing unwanted pregnancies, a similar item existed in indigenous cultures long before. A plant based ingested herb, dog bane, and stone seed were used. Uh, so for about 2 centuries, that's what they were using to prevent unwanted pregnancies. Although it wasn't as effective as current oral contraceptives, there are studies that suggest that stone seed in particular has contraceptive properties. The Shoshone and Navajo tribes use stone seed. So I guess that was their most reliable source of birth control. Um, and let's see, 3 anesthetics and topical pain relief. Native American healers pioneered pain relief. Natives use jemison weed as a topical analgesic, grinding the root to make the plaster and apply it to the exterior of the injury, cuts, and bruises. And according to Kiyoki and Porterfield's book, um, it was more like, I guess, not like icy hot, but it was like something like that. If patients had to or had a broken bone or needed something reset on their body, healers had patients ingest the plants as an anesthetic. They also brew teas from the bark of an American black willow, which includes silicon for inflammation. And once the silicon enters the body, it produces okay, I'm gonna butcher this one. Salicylic acid. I'm not a doctor. I don't.
Close
but
enough.
but the active ingredient is in modern tablets. So it produces the same thing that is in, like Bayer, aspirin, and Tylenol. So they were ahead of their time on that matter. Let's see. They are noted to have invented some form of sunscreen. Um, and like for hundreds of years, many Native Americans mixed ground plants with water and applied the paste or whatnot to the skin to protect from the sun. And the most common plants were sunflower oil, wallflower, and sap from aloe plants. I mean, and we still use aloe today for various reasons. We, have drinks that, and it's good for your internals and your outers. So all these things have been recorded for their use in protecting skin from the sun. And here's something that's very interesting as well. Baby bottles. Like,
Mm.
what is that? The Iroquois took dried and greased bear guts and added a nipple. Yeah, I know, bear guts. And fastened it from a bird's quill to create bottles to feed infants. So the quill, they just, molded it, like opened it up a little bit more so that they can, and I forgot how they said they strapped it to the bottle or whatever, but I'm sure it was some kind of intestine or substance because they're pretty strong. Um, but yeah, let's see, mouthwash and oral hygiene. So this is gonna be like a two-parter because I, discovered some extra things on that. But various tribes in northeastern North America used wildflower gold thread as a mouthwash
Mm.
and treatment for oral pain. Tribes across the continent used various plants for cleaning teeth, and it was rumored that the American continent had more effective dental practices than the Europeans who had arrived. And incidentally, when the Pilgrims arrived in Plymouth in the early 17th century, surviving member Tusquanan or Squanto tried and failed to convince them to start washing themselves. uh, Bathing was not common amongst the Western Europeans until later part of the 18th century. Um, and the I guess the Queen King Louis the 14th of France is said to have only had taken 3 baths in his lifetime. So it wasn't a thing they did. They just changed their clothes and carried around those puffs with the like what do you call those air fresheners or what's the dried flowers? What do you call those?
Just
Uh,
the sunflowers, or
no, the stuff that your grannies use in a bowl.
oh,
Not incense, but they're like dried flowers and stuff. Uh,
season.
I don't know. It'll come to me.
Yeah.
But the pilgrims felt that submerging their whole body in water was unhealthy, and taking
Wow.
all their clothes off to do so was immodest. the Native Americans that colonists encountered, like the Wampang, bathed openly in rivers and streams. The colonists' lack of hygiene
Potpourri.
was more than a smelly inconvenience to the Native Americans. And I read somewhere that the Native Americans would light incense whenever they were around, and the Europeans thought it was like some kind of ritual, but they just couldn't stand the smell. Europeans, but they didn't want to be rude. And so the historians estimate that due to Native Americans not having prior exposures to their, the nasty European microbes, 90% of Native American people in coastal New England were wiped out.
Wow.
European diseases would wipe out a million more. So, yeah, clean your bodies. And just like this pandemic, wash your hands, clean your body, try to stay in as much as possible because like somebody posted on Facebook, like, we haven't heard anything about the flu. And I was like, yeah, because nasty people are finally washing their hands, so it's not spreading as much. So,
Exactly.
and let's see, the seventh one is suppositories. So, indigenous people throughout the Americas created suppositories from dogwood trees. Dogwood is still used today externally for wounds, but essentially small plugs were fashioned by moistening, compressing, and inserting the dogwood to treat hemorrhoids. So I guess, when they were doing that, they realized, oops, I gotta go poop. So
Wow.
that's what I have on Native American contributions for, cleanliness and hygiene.
Yeah, that's a lot of good information because I never would have thought of that syringe and
Mm-hmm.
how they did the bottles. And I'm like, man, I know
Potpourri. Look at that, G
potpourri.
Money Man.
Yeah.
Potpourri. I knew if I described it enough, y'all to understand. You don't see it anymore.
Uh, so, oh man, that's some good history. Thank you for always bringing the history to the show. Get
I'm
us
on
thinking.
working and
Um,
taking my naps in the morning.
was and I want to welcome everyone to the show. Go back up, Radio Chaos, G Man, T Cal said, hey y'all. Sorry I'm late. I had to get off a Zoom call with Oprah to get my favorite podcast. Should have invited Oprah on the show.
Or at least Stedman, he ain't doing nothing.
Tell
Boy,
him
let
come
me go
on.
at your boy. Sting,
Um,
can I get
so
invited to a
uh,
brunch?
Marcellus came up in the house. Um, and G Man want to know what's her background. And
What
what
do you
is your
mean, what's your
background?
background?
I don't know.
Like
Um,
education?
I would assume he's talking about education because he did say, I like this. This is one of my things as for the history. So
I'm
maybe he's
nosy
talking.
and I like to just know things. I drink and I know things. A lot of useless facts most of the time, but I know when I was in school, the only reason I didn't pursue history because I was thinking about being a history major was that the classes were on the way on the other side of uh, the compound. I don't know, like it was just too far for me. So I was like, English it is.
Exactly.
So
Um, so tonight we're gonna switch it up a little bit tonight. Oh, excuse me. Um, I know we did ask Curtdog anything last night, but tonight you can actually ask Miss Risky and I both some things. Whatever you want to ask, you can ask. We will answer.
maybe,
Uh, we will give you an answer, but um,
or I'll
we
just
will see.
smile and nod and pretend like I don't know English. I'm good at that.
um, but yeah, definitely. So we have a couple of stories we're gonna hit on. Just a couple. Wisconsin Supreme Court refused to hear Trump election lawsuit. Um,
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. They
yeah,
probably tell him
they're
stop.
leaving it open that he can file a challenge in the circuit court, but because of timing, like we're in another year and Biden's gonna move in. There's not enough time to assemble because they're taking another break when like next week. So Congress
Think
does their
so.
commission. So he doesn't have time to even pursue a challenge. But yeah, and I want to say due to was it Tuesday, December 8th is the safe harbor deadline for each state to confirm with electors or the will cast their state's vote in the electoral college. So even though Trump can dispute, it's unlikely. But this man, he just won't go away. He's like that, like I've always said, like that hurt girlfriend, disgruntled, just doesn't want to go away. She'll flatten your tires. Like you just can't get rid of her. That's what Trump is. He's just a crazy ex.
Mm. Yeah, it's I was when I was in there doing the jerk chicken a while ago. Um, I was in there and uh, I was reading something and I heard it seemed watching a video and it said something about Trump have paid the tax dollars have paid for recounts in a lot in Georgia 3 times, which is very expensive. So at this point, why do you keep wasting our money? So we did have a question to come in. Yeah, radio. Chaos want to know, how did you and Miss Risky meet?
So he
Um,
was lost and went down this alley. No, I'm just kidding.
I was hanging out smoking a cigarette if
And
I
I had
smoke.
my taser. No. We met at a bar playing poker.
Yep. Had met at a local bar. We were playing poker. And on this particular day, because it was on a Saturday, I believe, um, I normally don't play at that bar on Saturdays. But that particular time I went there and um, we just hit it off right off the top. We laughed, joked. My wife met her because she played too, and um, just had a good time. And ever since then, we started talking about books. And she told me she wrote a couple of books, and she gave me a copy of one of them, and I read it. I told her, I said, "Huh,
I said, and you're still scarred for life.
yeah." I had a text. I said, "Look, uh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to read this book." She was like, "No, just keep reading until you get past such and such session chapter, then you'll be okay." So, and she actually inspired me um, to write my story. So it's so we are, I'm gonna say we BFF, um, sometime,
Yeah.
except for when I get on a nerve.
Like my
No,
coworker, we just call each other picks, partner in crimes. It's like, yeah, friend, partner in crime, yes.
um, the name. Oh, let me make sure I'm doing them in order. Marcella's asked, "Do you think 45 will run again in 2024?" I think he'll be hooked up with Big Bubba.
If
Him,
he's
his
not in
daughter,
jail or if he isn't in some
a
foreign
different country.
country with some other woman, because it won't be Melania, um, he will run, but I think we'll have a better crop of candidates. And I don't think he will make it past the primaries. Knock on wood.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, um, if Joe, President-elect Joe Biden, and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris do what they say they're gonna do, and if people are pleased with them, I really feel like this will be our first female president because they don't expect for Joe to run another term.
I mean, he's
But
100 years old.
of course,
Brittle bones.
so I I really expect for her to be our first not only female president, but our first black female president. So, but she
Look at all
have
the cultures.
exactly she have to do what's right. Not only been one country that had a female president. Um, I think it was in
No,
the.
no, I'm just saying her. She represents a lot of
Oh yeah,
cultures.
oh yeah, all the cultures. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
not all things.
So I think it's a good chance, but they have to do what's right. They have to do good in the first 4 years, and if they don't, they will be a one term.
I think the
Uh,
first few months after he's in office will show what he's going to do. We need to see what he's going to at least try to do. And if he can get a few of those things going, we should be okay. Um, by no means is everything like we're still going to have the racism. We're still going to have it. I mean, because these things have been around since we got here.
and,
So you can't change people's minds about people overnight. So that's going to be a work in progress. But I think just trying to, like Biden said, try to bridge that um, monetary
that gal,
divide between the races because
yes,
there is a division. And then don't be a woman. Weird, struggling. But, we hustle. We'll survive and keep trucking.
and not only that, history is still being made
Hmm.
out of this camp. Um, I believe uh, Vice President elect. I want to say she actually have a. I seen something. I didn't get a chance to read the story about she selecting a lot of females in her
Yeah,
cabin.
there's I mean, why not? Because the men have been in power all this time, and look at where we are now. Like,
Exactly.
we joke about women not being able to run a country, but have they really given them a chance? And it's
True.
time to change some things. Like, we need younger candidates. I'm tired of these 700-year-old white men running the country and just
Mm,
benefiting them, trying to get their, retirement plan set up. We
exactly.
need to dismantle, the Congress and just start from scratch and be like, no more lifetime appointments.
I
You know,
think I think James Brown said it the best. This is a man's world, but it don't mean nothing without a woman. So behind every great man, there's a strong woman behind him.
my
So
wife.
talking about
My
you act a
daughter
fool you
Bear.
want to.
Good.
So
And make
uh
a fool out of us.
G Money want to know what's the name of the books.
So there's a series. You can find them everywhere online. Ex Libris Publishing, but you can also find them on Amazon and Barnes and Noble or just anywhere. They're written under the pen name RSKEE, RSKE. Beneath the Surface is the first in the series. Breaking Point, and then Resolve is the last one in the series, maybe.
Hmm. And my book, I'm hoping it'll be out in 2021. I'm trying to do it a little bit different. I could self publish, but I'm really looking for a agent because I feel like my book will be a movie. So um, I want to do it the right way. Make sure once it come out, it get the proper exposure that it should get, and because I feel like it's going to be a New York Times bestseller, and that's my opinion. And a couple of people that have read part of it or heard about it, they all are interested in buying the book. So I want to do it the right way for when it come out. It's done right, and the opportunity of I'm not talking about um, uh, one of those low budget films. I want it to be one of those that you go to the box office to see. So Tyler Perry, holla at me. I got a good story for you.
See, I'm a was it Lee Daniels? Lee? One of Showtime
At this
series?
point, I don't care who it is, but you know who I would
Well,
love
you
to.
know how I feel about Tyler Perry.
Tyler is
Like
cool.
he's great. Yeah, I'm sure he's a great guy, but sometimes, I mean, I ain't gonna, just in case Oprah does call, or Stephen be like, "Hey, I caught your show."
But you know who I would really love to work with?
Yeah.
Um, it's a couple of people. Now only because hopefully my wife ain't listening, but Regina King.
Yeah, I can have her do my stuff because I like her works and I like her.
I
She's
love Regina King.
good on it.
I would actually love to work with a up and coming production company, someone who is trying to get off because I feel like once this book come out, it's gonna take off like a wildfire, and it's going to people are going to be able to relate to it. So I think it will be really good, um, and I can see it going nationwide. So
Because both of my
if
stories touch on things that
exactly,
people have experienced, and it's hard truth.
and it's not
It's from a point of view of a gay male, um, and it's just things you just don't hear about. You know about it, but it's like nobody talks about it. It's not in the mainstream, and so
exactly,
hopefully, like I could see it as a series, because we need another good gay series, like Queer as Folk, which I absolutely loved. They tried to do another series on Showtime looking, but it didn't do as well. They only had like a few seasons, but I think this one, my books, I think they would transition well in their place.
Mm. And I'm actually working on my second book, um, which is once you read the first one, you're gonna be like, hold on now, hold on, I need to hear about this second one. And then I believe it will be a series of book coming out, but I also have some other books and some other ideas I want to bring out too. But this is the one I'm focused on the most, and it's really um gonna be interesting, and it's all true. So, and these are things that a lot of people do not want to talk about. They know about it, but they don't want to talk about it. So yeah, it will be interesting. Um, G Money said Trump is too old. Uh,
To a lot of things.
yeah, yeah, he
Too
is
many adjectives. He's
exactly. T Cal said, "I pray he don't, but I know he will, or his son will fly it up in there."
But then
Yeah,
I don't think they would get the momentum that he got.
and not only that, I think with his son,
Hmm.
like I said last night, his son is up in an investigation too about his connection with Russia.
Hmm.
So, and then his son-in-law can't do it because he falsified his clearance paper. So I don't I think I really truly think um the name Trump, but the only Trump that may have a chance is Mary Trump.
Or Biden.
Um, but out
Maybe
out of
Biden.
the
Because he's like,
no,
you
he
know,
look. I don't
but
see that either.
he's gonna
Um,
he's gonna be something.
it won't be politics.
So,
So I don't see that at all. But yeah, I think as for Trump and his son, his daughter, his son-in-law, hopefully they put them both on both corners of the world. Put each one of them in each corner because they are Hopefully they go into prison. Matter of fact, on Twitter they have hashtag uh lock Ivana Trump up or something I seen earlier.
Yeah,
And so yeah, they going down.
the
Uh,
offense. They just got.
unfortunately. And so uh radio said, "Oh man, I hope his son don't try to run." And he it's gonna be hard to run from prison.
Well, that's
So
the way to go. Because I mean, again, we got to change some things, law wise. Because there's an imbalance, and we're still fighting through it. So
yeah, it's gonna be some challenges, but I think Trump and his family have done enough. Even people around him have done enough. That's why he's trying to get everyone pardoned uh, before they get out of office, because they already know once they get out, it's over. It's a done deal. They don't have that protection no more.
exactly.
But I think the person that's gonna tell all who gonna take the plea deal is Barr. I think he'll take the plea deal. He'll be the first one singing like a mockingbird.
Well, remember what they say: the first one to roll is the one that gets the better deal. And I'm sure
Yeah,
that goes
exactly.
in all forms of crime. So,
Well, Juliana can't say anything because he represent Trump.
well, and then after that movie he was caught in, Borat, he don't need to be seen nowhere trying to take his pants off with some 15-year-old girl. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Well, she got it from her dad at radio. He don't like taking questions that he don't like from the press either. He
Well,
thought he could get
there are
around them.
things that they don't know,
Yeah,
and
they
Bianca doesn't know enough to even like what are her qualifications. Like just because her father, who had absolutely nothing but a business degree, got in there, like what makes people think that she could run? Like she should know better. What are you hearing?
I thought I heard thought I heard the air fryer going off. I wasn't sure. Yeah, I heard something beep. So yeah, that probably was it. It's kind of hard to hear sometimes with the earphones on. Um, yeah, but I don't see her running. I don't see none of them being able to run.
Yeah, like they
And
wouldn't even make the cut. I don't think.
yeah, and people are still uh quitting. They're like, hey, I'm gonna get out of here before this ship sink.
Yeah.
And they like,
Hey guys,
forget this.
I'm going to Ibiza. Let me get my cash out all my stocks
Exactly.
and
Now
move.
see, what they're saying is uh Trump is uh seriously thinking about getting rid of Barr. Now the problem is, and Barr probably would like that. See, I almost cussed in radio. I tell you, he won't be running either. We're gonna send him back up to Canada, tell him go back home. um,
Can he run?
who Cruz? He ran last time.
Did he? I don't even remember.
Yeah, because Trump called his wife ugly in a
Oh, that's
debate.
right.
He
That's right.
ran last time,
That's what that was.
and
I remember.
so
But then
his
he was all up in his butt.
exactly, and he's still up in it. I'm like, come on, dude. That's why he's not going to be able to run. Now the rumors are, um, it may be some other history going on if Greg Abbott run. Should I say run or roll? Okay. Uh, yeah, Greg Abbott. If he decides to run, that will be some history. So,
Be very interested to see how this goes.
but as far as I'm concerned,
Let's get through
nah.
this next, this next one. Like,
Yeah,
let's because I mean we got to recover from this drama.
Wait a minute, who did that? Was it Ted Cruz that did it? That sounds like something Ted to do. Uh, shooting a AR-15 and cooking a piece of bacon. Bacon probably was burnt, crispy. I don't like my bacon that burnt. I do like it crispy, but I like it brown. Yeah, I figure it was him. Ted Cruz, he's special. He is. And they all are. But Ted Cruz, he just go with the show.
Yeah.
He don't care. Whatever sound good to him, he's all for it. Um, have y'all been noticing lately in the news? People have been losing their mind.
It's like Lord of the Flies out there because people are desperate. Like
Uh,
we don't have a government that's protecting our people, and they're like, they're trying to work hard to give another $1,200 for people being out like pretty much the whole year, and they got bills to pay. People are getting desperate and crazy, and then they're in the house with this COVID. Like every
exactly.
day, somebody is going buck wild at a McDonald's drive-through.
Yeah, Family Dollar.
Yeah, Family Dollar, people are fighting, like hitting each other with phones. And this is workers and just the patrons.
Did
Like,
you hear that? Did you hear that sound when that phone hit the woman? It said,
because
I'm like, what the
it's
hell?
a phone. It's a phone.
And she was like, AT&T.
She went
How
from
can I
one
help you?
zip code to another to hit that woman with that phone. It's
She
like,
was trying to make a long distance phone call. That's all.
she did. She connected.
Yeah. Yeah, she did.
Couple
They
times. Ring
I'm
ring.
like,
Well,
I'm like at this point, I'm not finna get between those two women. They up
listen,
here.
I'm surprised the security guard got in there and was able to pull them apart. Somebody
Yeah,
should. What is this?
I have no idea.
Like I'm seeing in the chat, it's like eyes and
Yeah,
lips.
just eyes and lips, and I don't know. Uh, at first, I thought it was the cover of the eyes from your book or something. I didn't know,
No,
but
no.
welcome to the show, JT123L, whatever that means. Welcome to the show. You can live chat with us. Not sure what the faces mean. Oh, okay. Hey, you always welcome to chime in on the chat tonight. We asking questions, answering questions. Um, you can ask us anything. We will answer. Um, and we'll try to be truthful.
Trying to be.
Oh, okay. Just click on the random stream, but definitely follow the page. You on Twitch, follow the page, like, share, tell a friend. We are live. We are live Sunday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. Miss Risky is on Thursdays. I'm here all the other weeks, all the other all the other days. But so you on Twitch? You playing a video game or what you doing? So but yeah, these folks have been really crazy. You sent me a video. Yeah, that video at the other McDonald's. I'm like, what's going on?
like,
What's
what even started that altercation is the question. It's like you got workers throwing drinks out the window to cars, like, and like I could, like, if the woman was thinner, I could see her going through that window and
yeah,
snatching somebody.
yeah.
She was
You know,
snatched them.
I had an incident, I guess about 3, 4 years ago. I was at a McDonald's not too far from the house, and I'm sitting in drive through, and it was packed. I had just ordered. I was in the process of ordering my food, and uh while I'm ordering my food, this woman decided to hit my vehicle
Oh,
on purpose, on purpose, and she
you do
bumped
that
my
often.
Yeah, she bumped my vehicle, and I'm like, "Ma'am, what's going on? What's taking you so long?" I said, "Ma'am,
Really?
I'm
And she still
tripping." I'm
tried to
like,
move
"Really?"
you out the way to get
Yeah,
it. Like, that's not how it works, ma'am.
exactly. And because
Like,
she
they could
was,
have been delayed.
that's what it was. I had just pulled up to the window, and she said she was trying to move me out the way, and I'm like, "Wait a minute. First of all, I'm tripping because I'm like, did this woman just tell me this?" And I asked the cashier, I said, "Did you just hear this?" He said, "Yeah." And I seen it on the video. I said, "Okay." And the woman, she got all upset. She had to pull up out of drive-through and she just crying, break it down, crying, telling me, "I'm gonna call the police for what?"
I know, right?
That was the Karens before the Karens started acting the food. But I said, "Okay." I got my little sandwich and pulled on out of drive-through because I'm like, "Look, you hit me." But if she would have did some damage, it would have been like, "Hey, you need to cover that." So,
Exactly.
but that's what people do. Uh, you guys in lockdown in the U.S. We are in the U.S. We're not in lockdown yet, but actually today's supposed to be the day. If we go 15% again today, where the hospital is over 15% capacity, yes, we're supposed to start making changes. The governor, Greg Abbott, he said if we go 7 straight days where the hospital is over capacity, they're gonna start shutting the bars down, and they're gonna um, do some more um, limitation. So I can see us um, being close to a lockdown. And what country are you in? Not sure where you're from. Um, oh, in England. In England. Okay. I know y'all got hit pretty hard not too long ago, and I want to say they sent in. They are the was they the first country that approved this vaccine that they're sending here, or was it?
I don't even remember what
It
country.
was some country that had approved it first, and they're starting to use it. Radio Chaos said, "I remember that video from a few years ago where an employee beat some girl with a pipe who came after him behind the counter when he thought she was passing counterfeit money." It's a lot of stuff been going down lately, and it's crazy how people respond to things.
Yes.
And I see people post all the time talking about uh yeah, when I get my LTC license, uh these folks better not be saying nothing crazy to me and all of this. See, first of all, that's the wrong mindset. Everybody shouldn't have a gun. If you don't know how to walk away from a situation, just because somebody say something crazy to you, that license do not give you a license to kill or to stop them with a deadly force. So, with that being said, you have to have the right mindset. Um, if they not a threat to you, speaking a threat, that's not a threat. Showing you a weapon or charging towards you, that's a threat. So you have to be able to identify the both real quick. Just like the young lady that I played the clip on the other night, walking upstairs to her apartment, her neighbor with the chainsaw.
Now
um,
that is correct, because I mean, listen, you come at me and you look like you're about to start it up and try to chop me up. Yeah, I'm shooting.
well, first of all, he was in the window first,
Yeah, but then you
and
had to go upstairs to her apartment and he's right there. Like,
then he cranked it up and started coming toward it. I'm sorry.
yeah, you
I,
getting lit up.
like old girl said, I put something hot on that ass. I, I I
Sounds
watched
like
that
she was the
video
right
several
one.
times.
She was the right one that day. Oh,
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
She was the right one, because if it was anybody else, the police didn't have to look for him.
Listen, that'd probably be a different story.
It would have been. It would have been. Yeah, I shot his ass.
We
There,
went
the
to
chainsaw.
her house, and then we found out he was drinking soup out of her skull.
Yeah, if she didn't have that weapon, there's no telling what would have happened.
Yeah, people
That
lost their
that could
mind.
have been terrible for her, because he was gonna chase her down regardless. So even after she shot him, he still chased her.
Right.
That's telling you there that this man.
Listen, like in horror movies, crazy people, you got to get them in the head.
We'll
And
say
they'll
those zombies,
just
one of
keep
those zombies.
Yeah, listen, like what was it, Misery? He hit upside the head and she wasn't dead. You gotta tap that. You gotta put a bullet in that head.
Yeah,
Crazy for some reason. They hard to kill. You
I
can't
was
kill
out.
crazy.
Hey, you got to stop the threat. That's what you have to do. Stop the threat.
That's why
He
hopefully
come down those stairs with that chainsaw.
9 millimeter. Nick Fury, I can't wait.
I've well, first of all, you really it depends on if they have if they have the notice on the door, because a lot of people, a lot of business, um, they don't want you to open carry no way, but you can carry a concealed weapon. Now, I know people that carry a concealed weapon, but when they go out to a restaurant or a bar, they don't drink. So, because you have to make sure that if anything pop off and you are licensed to carry, you don't want to give them any reason to find you guilty.
Exactly.
Because if you go out, you carrying, and you turn around and
You're
you've been
impaired.
drinking, they're gonna say that mess with your thoughts. So definitely, a lot of places don't want you to open carry, because now Texas is an open carry state, and I'm gonna say that loosely with certain people. Because certain people, okay, I'm gonna just cut across the field. I cannot open carry.
I mean, you could, but you're gonna get harassed. You're gonna The
Exactly.
cops gonna roll up on you. Why are you carrying a eight? What is it? AR, whatever's.
It could be a pistol.
Anything,
It don't
anything.
matter.
But the bigger the gun, the most squad cars coming out to just ask you a question.
Well, the thing is, if it's a black man or a black woman, it's going to be multiple cars anyway. But if it's uh, a white man, no question asked.
Right.
And for me, I'm like, if I was to carry, I wouldn't carry open no way,
Mm-mm.
because that'll make a person want to try you.
Like we already seen as aggressive and a threat just because of the color of their
Exactly.
skin, because of what's on television. Um, but like I've always said, we gotta change the narrative. We gotta uh, get people's mind out of thinking that we're always the aggressor, and we're not. That you carry a gun and it's open, it's a terrorist.
Exactly.
Like,
Now, as for a taser, it depends on what kind you're talking about. If it's one like the police, I'm not sure, but I
I think
know.
tasers you can carry, from my understanding,
Well,
but
I'm talking about like the ones
yeah,
like the police with the
yeah,
ones that shoot the pivots out
yeah. Cause see, okay, so that's a taser. A stun gun is what you're used to seeing like at stores and stuff like that.
at
So
Amazon.
like,
You could go to Amazon and
yeah,
get a
but
whole package.
you can do both. You can do both. Because I was looking for that, but it's too much of a hassle to do a taser with the prongs come out. Because once those prongs go out, you gotta get another cartridge because they're already used and deployed, and they're not very reliable.
And that also fall up under certain people can, because the way that the tasers are made, they
That's
handles look like it's
like
a
guns.
gun.
Yeah. But
So
people with their cell phones in their hands, they're like, it was a weapon.
exactly. So it just really depends who you are, because I wouldn't take a chance doing it. Um, that's just me. If I was to carry, I definitely would not open carry, because that'll bring too much attention to you. And by you being a black man, you could be unarmed with no weapon and get shot. And what you having a weapon and they see it, they they definitely would. It's a greater chance of you getting shot, and that it'll be to the point where they're not gonna shoot to stop you. They're gonna
Yeah,
shoot to
become
kill
riddled
you.
with bullets. They're like, we're the only group of people that's ever riddled with bullets. Yeah, he
Where
got
you
a
get
cell
shot
phone, but
38
I saw
time and
everybody on the force got to get the 3 bullets in. Like,
three.
well,
No,
three
16 to 18
magazines,
shots.
three
they
magazines.
gonna they gonna unload
Reload.
and load back up.
Like, everybody
So
get shot in, like firing squad.
then they be like, "That's mine's right there. I got him right there, right
Where's
in the heart."
Logan? I got him
Mm,
in the shoulder.
yeah.
Daryl got
So
his fingers.
doing a taser, I wouldn't do it. But they have different type of tasers that you don't know. Stun gun. They have different type of stun guns that people do not know that are stun gun,
Hmm.
and if a woman being attacked, they have opportunity of actually defending themselves. Um, it's weird seeing people open carry long fun, yeah,
Especially in
long
stores.
guns while they shopping in store.
Yeah, like
Yes,
certain things, I'm like, all right, you're at at like McDonald's. Why do you need a cannon or an AK just to get a Happy Meal? Like in that case, I think people are just being just showing off and just I
they
don't
doing it just for the hell of it.
yeah for attention and then strike fear. It's like no, that's not what you want. Like you're going to McDonald's, just carry like a 45 and keep it concealed. Something pop off, then you're
Well,
ready.
45 kind of hard to conceal
I
because
don't know.
that's something.
I don't know the guns. I just know the 45s.
Well, a 45 revolver,
I
that's
do
damn
know
near
that.
a shotgun. Yeah, you're
Desert
gonna
Eagle compact
because
hand
you're gonna
cannon.
be pulling it out like this, and by the time you get it out, they're gonna be like, "Nah, let me get the
Yeah,
hell away from her."
everything's gonna be resolved by the time you get a long gun out.
Exactly. But that's kind of like the guy that I said, I think it was last month, my wife and I was rolling down the street, and I just noticed the guy had on leather pants, a long leather jacket, kind of like what the Undertaker would wear. And uh, I think the hat was leather too. And I was like, and it was like 92 degrees outside that day. And I said, boy, that's a scary sight.
Exactly.
She's and after I passed, she was like, yeah, it was, especially with him having that gun on his back. I said, he had a gun. She said, yeah. So I made a U-turn to go see.
I
And
wouldn't have
sure
done
enough, he
no
had one.
turns.
Huh.
That would have been the day that time he unloaded his gun. I am not.
No, he didn't see when I made a
I
U-turn,
know,
and
but I was like, I ain't even.
yeah, by the time I turned around, he had already started walking down the side street. So we cut through the neighborhood, and just so happened we turned on the street and seen him walk up to this house. I'm like, okay. Then when I seen the house, I said, shit, not surprising. Uh, had the
Like
had
I remember out where I live, I saw a dude. He had a bow and arrow. I'm like, where are you going with a bow and arrow, dude? Like, what is this, Dungeons and Dragons? Like, he actually had his, like, it wasn't in a case. He looked like he had an arrow in one hand and his bow, like, he was ready for something. Like, we live in the suburbs. There aren't too many wild animals out amongst us too much. Like, every once in a while you'll see a coyote, but animal control usually gets those.
Mm. A bow and arrow. Okay.
Most random thing ever. And I was like, yeah, let me hurry up and get away from y'all.
Now Texas, you can carry a um like shotguns and rifles. You always been able to carry
Yeah.
those,
Like you
even
can
as
throw
a
them in the back
child.
of windows.
Yeah, you used to see them in the back window, but you don't see them no more.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
because people are steal it. Like,
exactly.
you don't want your prized possession in the window anymore because people are crazy. Like, yeah, that is like, yeah, you can carry your rifle or shotgun in your back window, but you go to that bar before it was open carry, and that gun's gonna be gone, and maybe your truck.
Yeah, well, I needed this ride, so I just got the ride, and oh, he left a gun back there. I might well go over here and rob something.
Or they just leave the rifle and then take the truck. Here you go, partner.
I done did all
That
this work to
rifle.
get inside, and he left the keys in the ignition. I might well just go ahead and take it for a joyride. Let me go run his gas out and bring it back and see if he recognizes it or not. Uh, yeah, it'll
But
give you a
people are
lot of
so
time.
impatient. Like that would never happen. Like they'll just use the bayonets and start stabbing people. I told you I wanted large fries.
Yeah, that's that's crazy. Know what was uh when well, I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna pass that one. But
Nah.
no. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But let's just say it I used to carry a shotgun back in the days. And I used to carry it everywhere. I drove a 82 Cadillac. So uh welcome house Elijah Deliverance Ministry. Blessing to you also. You can live chat with us in the room. Tonight we have as Risky and Curtdog Anything. So definitely ask away. You on Periscope. Take the time out and bless us with some of those hearts on there because we're trying to do some great things coming up in 2021. Um, but back in the days, I used to carry it. I drove a 82 Cadillac, and I used to carry a pistol grip shotgun everywhere because it was legal to carry it, and I would carry it, and it was it was fun. Well, I won't say it was fun, but I also did security during that time, so I carried it because I could. I couldn't carry my service weapon not unless I was going to my property. Uh, I appreciated Bishop. I don't know if you're a bishop or just a pastor. I definitely appreciate it, and I've actually checked out a couple of your shows, and they're pretty good. Sometimes I need that word, so I definitely appreciate it. Um, so I used to carry it, and it was interesting when I did carry it. Um, back then I was young, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna carry this because I can. But my mindset, I think my mindset was pretty good for the simple fact I did security, and um, so that's a that was a good thing for me. Um, you definitely welcome, and always come on to the show whenever you want to step in, bless the show, definitely do it. Everybody is welcome. We all need some prayer from time to time. So, well, we need it all the time. But um, sometime when I get off this show, I gotta go and post some oil on me. I'll be like, Lord, I know I was wrong, but please forgive me. But everybody is welcome on the show. Um, I like the ministry that you do on Periscope. So I when I get time, I do go back and watch your videos, and I appreciate it. Um, so um, um, so that's just me. I think I've always, I guess, coming up, I hung around older people, so my mindset was always a little bit different than most people, and um, than people in my age range, because I grew up hanging around older people that would show me the right things to do in different situations. Uh, oh wow, I wouldn't be surprised. Mexico is completely different,
Yes.
um, because down there they have to carry something huge just for the simple fact that um, you don't want your moneymaker to get robbed. And when the cruise ships come in, you got to make sure those people are safe. Now, once they get off in the city, that's on them.
Right. That's why
But
we stay
around
on
that cruise ship,
excursions with that's sanctioned by Carnival or Royal Caribbean or wherever. We lucked out when we did one of them excursions off the boat. We came back with our kidneys. It was fun. Um, but yeah, we lucked out. But I was like, yeah, next time we'll just pay extra and just stay, with the cruise people because at least they keep tabs on you.
yeah, I think when we went on a cruise, the first cruise I went on, well, the only cruise I went on, because we supposed to be doing one in June until the pandemic hit. But the first cruise and the only cruise I've been on, it was 27 of us, if I'm not mistaken, and we actually had a great time. And once we got to Cozumel, we went to some little beach or something and hung out for the day. I was like, cool. So it was pretty good. We enjoyed it. When I go to foreign country, I try to pick resorts. If I'm doing a trip, I try to find a resort that have a lot of stuff to do. Why I'm there, I don't have to leave. I could just stay on the resort. And
And I like to
as
explore.
now back in the days I did, but crimes are so bad now. Um,
I
it's
know at
so
one point it was
bad.
just like, listen, if you have blonde hair and blue eyes, don't go. They snatching y'all up. And my sister and I were just like, yeah, we're safe. You
Exactly.
don't want us.
Or you okay? We don't. No, you don't have much money. Go, go.
Yeah. It's like, we know how they treat you. You can pass. Thank you. I'll buy
but
a bracelet.
what I would love to do, and my wife and I have talked about it. Whenever the pandemic is over, um, Virgin Cruise Line, holla at me. We will be more than happy to come on there and do a show. So we would love to do a show on your cruise line.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be. Um, I could. Can you
That's
imagine doing a show on Virgin? And I love Virgin because I only flew on the airplanes one time when they were still in service. Loved it. I was like, man, I'm texting my niece. Hey, what you doing? At first she didn't know about it. She was like asking my sister, who is this? Girl, that's your uncle back there. I'm like, all right. So it was cool, but I've been paying attention to Virgin uh American cruise line, and they're actually look like they're pretty good. I would love to stay in one of these suites. I was like, man, I go ahead and flip the dollar for one of these suites. But Virgin,
And
we
then
just
like next
saying.
year, my niece wants to go to Greece. So I've been looking up stuff in Greece. And of course, keeping an eye out because I think they're locked down and they even have notice. check with them to see if you can get in. So
Yeah.
hopefully things will slow down at least by May of next year
Yeah,
for
if you're
that
gonna try
senior trip.
if you're
Because
gonna travel, you definitely need to make sure you buy that insurance. Buy the insurance because you never know if you're gonna
yeah,
make it or not.
yeah,
Especially during this time.
of course, yeah, and it's not that much, and the trips are not that expensive now. But like, I'm looking for all inclusive or just a resort of some sort that's in like Athens, so we can go see the ruins and hang out and be amongst the people and eat.
Are
Yeah,
you are you setting it up yourself or you going through somebody to set it up?
probably set it up by myself. I don't have
Okay.
like a travel agent.
I can
I mean,
hook
I've
you up with
never
one.
had a travel agent. I just go on Expedia, look at something, and go. I haven't had any problems.
I like to set it up myself, but when you go into a different country, sometimes it may be better to have somebody who have a little bit more insight. Because just because what you look at on online
Mm.
might
That's
be
why I
like,
get the comments and check, the stars and all that stuff. I do all of the things. You remember that's how I ended up going to Ireland.
mm,
I did it on Expedia and got a
yeah,
great deal. Like it kept going up because it was the we were going the week before or a few days before St. Patty's Day,
oh
and
yeah,
special events, they go and get all their monies. So we left the day of, like the day before St. Patty's. But
yeah, that's gonna be a
yeah,
little
that trip
rich.
was
It's
nice.
gonna it'll hit you a little bit. But what I would do is I definitely I would love to I just want to get out. At this
Mhm.
point, I don't
It's
care.
like Amistad, give us free.
At this point, I'll take a trip to Fort Worth. I'll be happy.
Mhm.
Not much to do there,
I
but
mean, eat barbecue, maybe look at a bull or something. Like, don't they do like that procession of bulls or something in the
they
streets
do it.
there?
But I don't know if they're doing it now.
Yeah,
Of
so
the
my
Longhorn.
friend, they just went last weekend or 2 weekends ago. I don't know what my days anymore, but yeah, she posted it, and yeah, they saw like they had a procession of like the steers and
Yeah, the
the
Longhorns.
longhorns,
That's down there over in the
stockyard,
uh
something
yeah,
like
the
that.
stockyard. That's
Yeah,
where it's at.
and I
I've
want to say
I've
it was a
been
week or two ago she went.
I've been through there, but I never had the opportunity of watching them.
Yeah,
Um,
like when I went on this date with this dude. He was very yuppie. He was very much a yuppie. And he took me to like all these bars and I was just like, this is not my crowd.
yeah,
I was just trying to be nice. That was back in the day where like somebody asked you out and you're like, you know what, I'm not doing anything. Okay.
yeah.
Like it didn't matter what he looked like. He had as long as he had a car, and some
Had a
cocaine
car
in
and some
him.
money
Right,
to
that was
pay
it.
for the
And it
date.
was just like, yeah, this isn't for me. Or back in my early 20s, it's like starving college student. It's like I'm hungry, and then somebody asks you out. Yeah, I can go eat. Let's go. you,
I
you got your free meal and kept it moving.
I know I said this many of times. We need to set it up. Matter of fact, someone had actually told me they was interested in it. I need to go back and look at my DM about the virtual
Okay.
dating.
Oh.
Remember, we talked about trying to do
I
that,
know, because
and I
it's
was
like
talking.
we gotta figure out how that would work because I mean, are you trying to do it like on the show and then have like
No,
every
we would do
or
strictly a
like the
show
cruise
for it. We would strictly have a show for it.
mm,
We'll have one contestant
different
who is,
lengths?
yeah, we'll have like maybe a guy or a female, um, and have them with contestant that's trying to win a date with them, a virtual date, and you see if it's a
Like the dating
connection.
game, you have like every 20, like speed dating. It's like, all right, 15 minutes, and then the next one.
Exactly. Well, what we're gonna
And
do, we're
email
gonna
your
set it up.
selections.
We're gonna set it up, and hopefully by Valentine's Day, we
Did you
can
say
have a show.
Valentine's with an M? Time.
Hey, it's
No.
it's the Walking Dead Valentine.
Yeah.
Um, so what we'll do, set it up, and hopefully by Valentine Day, we would be able to send them out on a date. So if it's a restaurant
Uh-huh.
that would like to host the date, let us know.
I like steaks. Or
Yeah, hey,
seafood.
at this point, we don't care who you are. uh,
I like
we don't.
Whataburger onion rings.
No,
Would be
hold
good
on,
to eat on a date.
hold on. We don't want McDonald's,
No
Burger King, no
McDonald's.
Sonic, none of that. We want it to be a nice restaurant. Like for instance,
Like Starbucks?
uh,
Oh no, not
not
Starbucks.
at all.
What
Not no
is?
Starbucks either.
Uh,
Maybe what was the twerking taking place the other day?
I don't know. I looked up their menu. What is it? True Kitchen or
Yeah,
something?
True Kitchen and
My boss
cocktails.
and I like spent 30 minutes just laughing at them. Like, not knocking the hustle. I mean, that's their clientele. It ain't for me. Like, I'm trying to figure out how that group of girls found that location. Because, we do a lot of word of mouth, and maybe it's because they're like, oh, it's a black owned restaurant. But the
It
next thing you're going to say is, how's the food? If the food isn't on point or they don't have anything that you like, a lot of those types of women are going there. I'm just
well,
saying, how did they end up
well,
there? Because they're real highfalutin.
well. I look at it like this. It's definitely a word of mouth because people put it on Facebook. Oh, I finally got in the True Kitchen,
Hmm.
and the curiosity kick in. Like, wait a minute, you can't get in this restaurant? Let me get a reservation.
Yeah, and then
So
you look at the
I,
menu, and then you're like, mm,
well, that was
that's the
did I
first thing.
send you the video? Did I send you the video of the twerking?
Um, no, because you sent the guy going off, the manager or the owner.
Okay.
I
Uh,
looked at the twerking part on other sites, and I
okay.
saw girls. That's why I was like, those type of girls, those are girls from like Oak Cliff. How did they?
Those particular girls were,
Right, that's what I'm saying.
but
How
but
did
it,
those girls
but
find this place?
there was a lot of ladies in there that
Right.
agree with the owner because you have to protect your business.
Yeah.
And the young ladies was wrong. They was wrong.
Yeah, they were. But it's like, how did that type of girl, that group of girls from Oak Cliff or South Dallas
Well, that's
find their
stereotyping.
way?
They might be
It
from
is
North Dallas. Who
stereotyping.
knows?
I admit that. How did they find it? Because listen, I'm from Oak Cliff and I can say that.
Word
And
of
I looked at
mouth.
the menu and I know it ain't something we would like flock to. Like,
It's word of mouth because when people post videos and pictures showing the line outside and then
yeah, that
saying it
lady
taking me a long
walking
time to
in
get
was like, what are you
reservation.
gonna eat? Like, even the drink menu was like, it's like,
I'm hey, I'm a
and then the dessert is like, oh, it's put a banana puree, all right?
no,
It's got
okay.
a graham cracker and avocado. What? Or a dragon fruit. What is a dragon fruit? Like what? Those are the desserts.
Dragon fruits are high. They
Like
eight
exactly.
dollars a
Like
piece at the store.
I don't even know what it is. I don't even know if I could identify it.
Oh,
But
they
that was
have them
on
at
their
the
dessert
store.
menu, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm gonna pass.
I almost
Those
got me a dragon
buttons,
fruit from the store,
until
but
I love buttons.
I don't know. Buttons is pretty
In
good.
Fort Worth, they have one.
Hold on. We have a question that came in. I overlooked it. Well, I didn't overlook it. You were just talking.
Hmm.
As a truck driver, have you been to every state in the lower 48? As a truck driver, I've been to all of them, but I never drove to California before. which is crazy. I drove every other state, but I had never been to California up until 2 or 3 years ago when I went to visit California on a vacation. But driving trucks, I never drove to California before, not in a truck. But California is beautiful. I love California weather. You could um, be hot during the day. At night, you better have a jacket. So I do like it, but I love the freedom in driving trucks. I love the freedom because driving trucks is like, hey, just driving, looking at the sceneries, um, and then also um, you may want to get you some type of radio service because certain parts you may or may not have phone service. Because I know driving from Dallas to Denver, you're gonna go a good 4 hours with no radio, with no phone service. So you better have a good something to listen to for those 4 hours because you can't talk on the phone. At least at that time, I couldn't because of the provider I had. And
Well, I'm glad that Verizon they've taken care of that problem.
it's
'Cause I
probably
was
better
in the middle
now.
of the ocean and I had reception. Like my
It,
phone was ringing, I looked down, I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting calls."
that happened to me when where did I have Verizon? I may did have Verizon
And my
when
friend
we
had Sprint and she had none, and I'm just like, "My mama calling me in the middle of the ocean."
be like be like
Like she
I'm
know
not
I'm on
finna
the boat.
answer. I'm not finna answer because that
No, it's
phone bill gonna
different.
be high.
Well, they offer a service where like X amount of dollars a day you can call like your normal service. So like $25, you have 24 hours of something.
Okay, we
No,
did that.
even that much. I want to say $15 a day or something that you
We did that
activate. There's no
in
roaming.
when we went to Jamaica, uh, Montego Bay. We got that service on the phone because I was like, hey, because because of my wife's job, we added on the phone and like, okay, cool. But
Yeah, I
that
did
was
that
actually
when
pretty
I was in
good.
Ireland because, like, again, we don't know these people. I need to, I need you to pin me. This is my last, where I last was, Cork,
Exactly.
Ireland, near the water. Find me.
But radio, to answer your question, yes, I drove to every state in the lower state except for California. That's the only one, which is crazy because I even drove to Vegas.
Like,
But
yeah,
I'm like, man, but I drove pretty much have drove everywhere except California in a truck. But I love driving. It was peaceful, had a good time. Um, certain things, I was okay with going around mountains, but some of those mountains, like up in um, um, what's that up in uh, on the west side, those mountains, they do some things for you because shoot, I know for me, I was coming out of trying to think what state that was. Um, I was coming out of the mountain, out of Rocket Mountain, and on top of the mountain it was raining hard. I get to the bottom, it's dry. I'm like, what the? So, and it was raining, wind blowing hard, and looking over the side, you didn't see no sides. So that wind blowing hard, truck rocking. I got to the bottom of that mountain. I told my wife, I said, look, I could literally say this mountain scared the mess out of me. So it was bad. And that particular night, I tried to keep driving once I made it to the bottom, but God would tell you, you need to shut down. So I got down to the bottom. I said, oh, it's not raining. I'm gonna keep on going. Went about 2 miles, and that storm came, truck rocking again. This time I'm on flat land. I said, I'm done. And I'm glad I did, because when I made it to the state line the next day, a tornado had hit the same direction I was going. So you gotta listen to your gut, gotta listen to the spirit, because he will show you. You gotta get out of it. So uh, so that's a good thing. But I
Yeah, I
did.
think my guardian angels, they're on vacation right now. They deserved it though. They deserved it. They've kept me alive for throughout my life. Like unexplained situations still to this day. And I'm just like, they just, like you said, they keep you alive.
Exactly. And I would love to do a show with truck drivers, either former or current truck drivers, and talk about the life of trucking, especially in the midst of a pandemic. Because I know personally, um, being out on the road, one of the things that most truck drivers would carry is baby wipes. Um, because unfortunately, you may go to some place you be like, "It's no way I'm about to take a shower in there," because you don't know what been up in there. So, baby wipes is a truck driver friend, and um, baby wipes, trash bags, and yeah, I always carry you some food. But my motto was this time of the year, um, I didn't like going up to the northern area where it's snow at, especially like Montana. You got to stop and put chains on. If I got to put chains on, I'm not moving. I'm done. I'm done for the night. That's extra work.
Just watching those videos of like those multi-car pileups when they like there's zero visibility in a snowstorm and just trucks can't stop in time and it's just chaos. Like I just that would be my worst nightmare. That's why I'm glad I am here, even though summers I hate Texas, winters I hate Texas, but I ain't leaving Texas because that fall spring, like that's the middle ground. Like that's my like sanctuary. Even
Yeah,
though it doesn't like me with my sinus and allergies, but those are my seasons. But it doesn't get as severe as in the north.
yeah. Like as for some of these truck drivers, some of these truck drivers, actually, um, they go in even when it's raining outside. They will be speeding. It could be ice in on the ground. They'll be speeding. Um, so it's really some of these truck drivers. They don't respect the road. My motto always been, even in a car, you have to respect the road condition. If you don't, you're gonna have a crash. Uh, Radio, no. I'm glad I never had to use one, because I was very cautious. My driving record is safe, is clean. Um,
What's a
uh,
runaway lane?
a runaway lane is when you're coming down a mountain, um, and the trucks start going too fast, where you kind of lose control, try to lose control of it. So what they have like these runaway lane that have a lot of, it's like a gravel, maybe 100 yards or something. Um, and what happened if that truck is going too fast down that mountain, because you cannot shift gears going down that mountain. So you go into that runaway lane, and that gravel is going to make you stop. Now, you might gonna need the toilet paper I talked about, once you get off in there.
I just
But
had a panic attack just thinking about it. Like, I would love to see mountains up close, but I don't want to drive on one. I just want to look at
it's
it, yes,
really
it's beautiful, but I hate driving anyway because it don't take much. Don't take much.
it's really
So
not that bad.
I need
Um,
a driver, an East European driver who was like he could be double as my bodyguard. You know, doesn't speak and just drive me where I want to go.
yeah, driving on a mountain is really not that bad. It's just basically if you drive in a truck, if because they tell you how steep that mountain is. So what you have to do before you start going down that mountain, slow your truck down, slow it down, get in a lower gear, and you just kind of
And
stab
pray.
brake while you're going down. Well, of course, pray, but kind of hit the brake where you're not. If you have it in the 10th gear, well,
You
that
just go
truck is
lower.
wide open. But if you have it like in 5, and you can still go a pretty decent speed going down that hill, but you can still control the speed. So, but a lot of people, and you cannot shift gears once you start going down. You'll never be able to get that truck back into gear. And then that's when you use that runaway lane because you like a speeding bullet with no direction.
And then I'd be like this on the wheel. I'd be like, there's a truck.
Now I will tell you, I
And
have gotten scared before going down a mountain because I'm like, hey, a mountain, you looking on the side and you don't see no bottom.
yeah,
And that
see, I can't go with that. Yeah,
it's really
I
not that bad. Just
want
gotta
to be down
respect it.
here staring at the mountain from another road, not on the mountain.
For in a car, it's really not that bad. But in a truck, because
Yeah, but in
people
my
don't respect
mind,
the lane.
it'd be like, what is it, Final Destination?
Well, it been rumored that there's a lot of trucks still down there at the bottom. There's certain mountains, but hey,
Well, yeah. Okay. So quick story. So
gonna
we get
even
off of those scary
gonna
books.
gonna leave them on a good note.
What it's kind of amusing. Like again, this corona is making people do crazy things. So I guess this past weekend, 41 people who attended a swingers convention in New Orleans tested positive for coronavirus, and this was in November. So yeah, so one of the attendings was hospitalized in a serious condition, but has since been released.
Mm,
But most of the cases were asymptomatic or mild. Um, the event was called Naughty in Nowlands, and of course, because COVID, they stated it was much smaller than in the previous years, which was last year they had 2,000 in attendance, but I guess this time around it was only 250 who checked in on the first day. That's a lot of swingers in New Orleans coming in and out. And then they said that the first 2 days people were adhering to the restrictions, wearing their masks, social distancing. But at a swingers event, it's like social distancing, and at the whole point, getting a little freaky deaky with other people. But whatever. But they said the first 2 days they were doing that. Um, they had contact diaries that were kept. Um, but then they said by the Friday, that's when people got a little laxed. Probably drinks were flowing, and they were like, "Yeah, everybody, free love," and they ended up with the COVID. So they said over 50% of the attendees had the antibodies, and the rest they got tested right before the event. So, so yeah.
So, so let me So were these people from New Orleans or they came from all
I
over?
think it was a mixture because they were saying they were all meeting at this hotel. I don't know what the initial stand. I'm guessing New Orleans PSI Hotel, so, but it's NOPSI. So I don't know what that is, but it's New Orleans something.
But
Um, but it's a convention, so I'm thinking there's people from all over because this is a yearly or an annual thing.
but
Yeah. I can't picture just 2,000 random Louisianans getting a freaky on.
but
So it's
so I'm trying to
I
get a
broke
clear
her down.
understanding. So you're saying that they was trying to they went to this swing party
Right,
and they expect for them to follow the protocol.
right. Like it's a swingers club.
I'm just
like
trying to
like
I'm trying
they're
to
talking about
understand
the
this
first 2 days they had their mask on. It's like what kind of mask? And then it's like and
because
then they're
when you,
like social distancing. It's like what? Like they chain you up and just whip you? Like so many things flash through my minds because like you're gonna have contact with people. Like
well,
that's the whole point
I
of the
thought about
swingers.
what you said months ago when COVID first started. You did a story one time about how COVID can be transmitted through
Yeah.
semen.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm just
And
trying
they
to
were talking about
figure
saying
this out.
something with it could cause infertility in men or something. But I'm like, but you know, when you think about swingers parties and conventions, they're never the pretty people. They're never the people you want
I
to
seen the
swing with,
picture. I seen the picture you sent. The story
right?
when you sent the picture, I'm like,
Yeah, they're never like nudist colonies.
mm,
They're never the people you want to see naked. Like, there's not a Idris Elba walking around or a Keanu Reeves or Brad Pitt. They all look like Dennis Hopper and Joe Pesci. Like they don't look like. And then the women, they look the same way. I'm just saying. Your picture went away. So yeah,
yeah,
I don't,
that's
I don't know. But they also said they had a big outbreak, but it's been traced to other gatherings in New Orleans. So 508 people were exposed at bars. Imagine that.
who going.
238 cases at casinos. Duh. 251 at restaurants and 66 at social events and 57 at weddings. I mean, again, all social gatherings. You're in New Orleans. What else are you going to do?
That was about 1,300 people you just counted.
Yeah, because they had a surge of, yeah. And so, but this swingers party thing just kind of tipped them over.
So
Like,
I'm still trying to
yeah,
picture
I
this
mean,
in my
when I
mind.
saw it, I was like, how do you social distance and how do you like I get the mask, you could work the mask in to
It
the space
depends.
just in my
I don't
mind.
know. I've never been to a swinger club, so I don't
Well, I'm
know.
thinking of like
Uh,
Pulp Fiction, the Gimp. He had a whole full body thing and you zipped it up. Like in my mind, it's like the shades.
I'm
I've
curious
never
about.
been. I don't know, but in my head, that's how it works.
I'm trying to figure this out because I'm like, you go
But
to a
social
swinger club
distance,
or a swinger event, and you expect people to wear their mask,
be
um,
6 feet apart,
be.
swinging. Maybe they were sucking toes. I don't know. Your leg is about 6 feet away from people, right? It's like the first 2 days, and then they got the alcohol in. Oh, let's
I'm
get a
sure it
little
was alcohol in before they got there because I'm like,
and all the stuff. Like the ecstasy kicked in, you touching on everything. Or is that Molly? I don't know. I don't know the drugs, but
but who in a right mind gonna risk their life.
Listen, they've been cooped up with the
Oh,
same person.
okay.
How long now? It's a full year. Well, it's not a
Almost.
full year, so 9 months.
Well, they say we could have had it back in October, November of
Yeah,
2019
but they didn't shut it down, and things started
to
happening.
March.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Um,
they started slowing things down in March, maybe April.
yeah, but
So
you go into a swing club in a pandemic and expect for everybody to be okay. And
they said that people got tested day of.
but
Like,
they had their mask on.
but they had
I'm
their
wondering how did that happen? What
I don't know. I need
first?
video. Anybody got video of this? I want to see the at least day 1 and 2.
Hey, if you
See,
got videos, a picture of it, send us an email because we just want to see
see how
how the scenery was because I
you know
cannot imagine.
interactions.
I can. Hey, you want to swing? Yeah,
Maybe they had like one of those little ticklers, and they just tickle each other from a distance.
I'm just. I'm like, how is this
I
happening?
don't understand.
Because the thing is, I don't know. I don't know.
Uh,
It's hard to say.
yeah, but people are pent up. Maybe they just, again, maybe these are seniors because they don't care because, they're still playing poker in person without masks. So I'm thinking
That's
they're
why
a
I haven't been.
particular age and they're just like, say la vie. If
But
we're gonna die, let's die doing something we love and,
I'm
swing.
not trying to
Swing
rush it
on,
though.
player.
And I know we did not get a chance to hit on this, but we'll do it real quick. I'm still tripping about this swinger though because I'm like you didn't.
Yeah, I had a lot of questions. A lot of questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Maybe that's a question
Because this is the
I
second one.
propose. Huh?
3 this month or last month. Because remember the one that got shut down in New York? 80 people.
Yeah. Uh,
I bet that's a record.
Radius. That's one of those crews you want to carry a black light with you.
Listen, no, you don't. You don't want to see that stuff.
Be
You
like,
don't.
don't touch nothing, don't
Listen,
eat
you
nothing.
blindfolded the whole trip. I'm gonna stay in my corner.
Well, first of
Bring me a
all,
slice of pizza.
oh, you're gonna get a slice of pizza. All right.
Right, something that like,
Be like, is that ranch?
yeah, like just give me a box of pizza. I'll just eat it from my corner
Well, first of all,
in a
they
jacuzzi.
have radio saying they have swinger cruise. Okay, if you get on that cruise, you're saying you part of that network
Yeah.
because you know what type of cruise it is.
Oh yeah.
Now hold on. Let me explain something. What anybody do, that's their business. If you swing it, well, if
Yeah.
you're a
Swing
swinger,
on.
hey, have fun.
Oh, I bet that would be a fun cruise to be on. And again, it's probably like senior people who are retired. Maybe an older fella who's got money. He's got a young tenderoni with breast implants. But that'll probably be, too far and in between. Like not too many of those, but they're gonna look like your great grandparents. And
Where
I would get on that cruise just for the entertainment value and laugh the whole time and stay away from jacuzzis because that's just human soup at that
well,
point.
say if it's foam swimming around in the pool or the jacuzzi,
Listen, it's
it's
just
not just foam.
petri
It may
dish.
be some kids.
Exactly. Just human soup. That's what that is. Just
uh,
still icy hot and lubricant.
it's funny when you talked about a old man with a young tenderoni.
Uh-huh.
When we went to Aruba, um, we did a excursion there, um, and on this bus that we was on, there was this young lady, probably she might have been 20 something, and this old man looked like he had one foot in, one foot out, and while we're driving on the bus, or if we go to one of the bars that we went to, he sit there and he like this the whole time. And I'm like, okay. And she was like, oh yeah, that's my sugar daddy. He take me on trips. He called me up, say, hey, where you want to go? I tell him, and he pay for everything. I thought Anna Nicole Smith. I said, okay. Yeah. But and then she started flirting with a younger dude on the well, a younger dude started flirting with her and she was accepting it because every time we got back on the bus, the guy fell asleep. And she was flirting back with the younger guy. I said, yeah, this is a hot mess.
I
But
mean,
it
that's
was
what
cool.
you do. That's why you have your personal trainer. Like if
Yeah,
I had
but
a sugar daddy, I'd be like, I'd pretend like we had a cool night. I spike his drinks with Benadryl so he can go night night. Like, oh baby, don't you remember?
you was wild.
Oh, you wow, you did things you hadn't done.
Um, but but
Like, yeah,
it
I about my life. I just don't understand how they can do that. I just cannot.
no, because
You have to be at
I'm
least in my demographic. Like, if I got to go into another checkbox for your age, like I'm
be like
already
I'm
in the
good.
second tier. I don't want to be in that third or fourth tier.
Exactly. Radio said he talked to musicians that worked those crews. They didn't like it.
Yeah, because it's
Yeah,
not what you think it
because
is.
they probably walked around naked the whole time, and some
Yeah,
people just don't want to see naked.
right. Walking
Uh,
with bulls and turkey necks. Ain't nobody
be
into that.
seeing be seeing titties hanging down to the knees. You don't want to see that.
Things. Nobody wants a turkey neck.
Yeah,
Those balls
exactly.
be hanging low like turkeys.
They need maybe they need to put an age limit on those type of cruise.
They the ones with the most money, so they probably getting the most money out of those cruises.
Yeah, but I'm like,
Like
shoot.
I would go there just to watch, or go to a port and see where they drop off, and see the crowd, because I need to see that the people that are entertained on that.
Now you're gonna make me pull it up just to see.
No,
Uh,
because no.
be like, swinger cruise. Yeah. Um, he said some nudity is just a cry for help.
Oh,
Yeah, because that's
I'll be crying for help. My retinas help.
they probably will put me off at the next port.
They be
Cause
like,
I
Sister,
probably
what's
be
that?
laughing my I'll
Right?
probably be laughing so hard, be talking about really?
And then I'll be like this. Don't look at this. What is
Wait a
it?
minute. Make sure you have your volume down for when you snap the
And
picture.
that would be the
It
one
don't be
time.
loud.
That would be the one time my flash goes off. I'll be like, "What?
Exactly.
I had all this off. You, you put all
Flash
this stuff on
automatic.
there."
But yeah, so we're gonna get ready to get out of here, but one last story we need to talk about. It's Thursday night in AT&T Uverse. Hey, I feel your pain because normally my wife and I we watch Grey's Anatomy. Um, but
And see, I'm not affected, I guess, because I stream through Hulu. So I don't. I gave up cable a long time ago. I got tired of that mess because
I
they
did
stopped at one
Hulu.
year with AMC, and The Walking Dead was series premiere was coming on, and this is when The Walking Dead was good. They had people writing in, threatening people, so AMC was like, all right, we'll stream the first episode live. And then I want to say by the second episode, they made an agreement, and
Mm,
it was back on.
well, I hope it was better than that wine I had of theirs.
No, that was a great episode. Like this, and like I said, this is when The Walking Dead was good, and people they threatened people. There were death threats. They're
Yeah.
like, yeah, we need to go ahead and make some deals because that's the only thing you watch on AMC. Like, you name any other show that's on AMC? No. Like,
Mm.
since Breaking Bad? No. I think
Well,
Breaking Bad is on that channel. I don't remember.
hopefully, AT&T Uverse work out a deal real soon because
You
matter
know,
of fact, I'll
cut
be
them
calling
out
them tomorrow saying, look, y'all better do something because
and stream everything.
well, we have Amazon Prime, but it's probably on there. I probably could go on there and watch it, but still, as much as we pay for AT&T Uverse, we need everything. So if y'all
You
can't
want
work it
to get
out,
some credits because I think somebody said they got some credits for the inconvenience.
oh yeah, we're gonna be calling them because my wife, she was upset earlier because we was trying to catch up on some shows that recorded. Um, and what's
Like,
that
was
show?
it Big Sky? Is that what it's called? That new show with my ex-husband Ryan Phillippe.
Oh no, we don't watch them. But the one 50 Cent's the one he got his mind right.
Uh,
The guy that based on a true story. Um, she was like, it didn't record the other day. I said, oh, it didn't. No. So hopefully when it come back home, it'll come on a demand or something. I said, Lord. So and she said,
yeah,
and then Gray's not gonna record tonight. I said, yeah, I gotta
then I got to
see.
watch all my shows. My what was it? The fire department one, Slatter
Oh,
Fire. No, I think that's
yeah, Station 19.
yeah that one.
And Station 19. And that's a good one too.
Yeah,
So
and then Radio says Better Call. He's waiting on Better Call Saul. You know, I didn't finish that last season. Like I watched the first two episodes, and then for some reason, I guess I was playing poker and just lost track. So I need to catch up and figure out where I can see it. Like I can use my Fire Stick because I jailbroke it.
shh,
Yeah,
don't say that out
well, it is what it is.
loud.
I don't need cable.
Hey,
Like I
I
swear,
guess Better
like
Call Saul
they
is
held me as
on.
hostage. Like they would, like if they wanted all my money or something like that, or some government secrets, all they had to do is cut my internet, and I'd be like, "No, I'll tell you everything. Don't cut my internet."
Cut your internet. It's all over
Like you
then.
can do anything, and I'd be like, "Whatever," and they're like, "We're cutting your internet," and I'm like, "No."
I didn't realize Better Call Saul been on for since 2015.
Yeah,
Never watched it. What is it about?
it's really good. It's like the spinoff of Breaking Bad. He's the lawyer,
Oh,
the crooked lawyer, and it's showing him before.
should I
Um,
tell you now or should I wait until I get off there to tell you I never watched Breaking Bad?
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a show like I caught Breaking Bad, and it was like 3 or 4 seasons in already. And then I was
Mm.
unemployed, and people kept telling me, "You need to watch this," and all these shows that had already been established, and I binged watched the like one season in like one day, and that's like 25 shows. Like I only took a break to go get street tacos because I got hungry, and then I came back,
Wow.
finished the rest of it. Is like the first two episodes are kind of slow because they're introducing characters, but by the third show, you're hooked.
Hmm.
I mean, I was,
Well,
and
that's cool.
but it's really it's. I think you would like it. They have some interesting characters, and just the progression of the characters. They like it. I like how they did it, and I actually didn't hate the series finale.
Hmm. Well, for me, I just have because I'm so busy now. Um, so it's kind of like I don't have the time for it. Even the shows my wife and I watch together, um, it may be days after.
Yeah, I that's why I don't know what day I'm in because now with everything it's like, oh, Grace is in your box. Oh, I'll watch Grace.
Yeah, like for instance, Fatal Attraction records on Monday, and I try
Okay.
to watch this past Monday, the last the last 3 nights, and I get sleepy. So
Yeah, and again, like those shows, I don't know, because that's on my other app, my other streaming app, because they just brought TV One to that channel or to that app.
which app
Like
is it?
Philo,
Oh, Philo.
Filo, and it's like $20 a month,
Hmm.
and that's where I get, like my MTV, uh, BT, all those stuff, and
I'm
then
gonna have to check it out, and
they
if
have I think Hallmark Channel and like it's like what basic extended basic cable used to be back in the day for $20. Like when you
yeah,
got
okay.
like regular channels and your, you know, Lifetime and all that stuff. And now
Hmm.
it's like actually basic where you just get Fox 4, 8, and
But I'm gonna have to check it out because we've been talking about getting rid of cable and put like this.
you gotta, yeah, you gotta do a lot of research, see what shows you want, because they s- uh, like say Hulu, they don't have CBS. CBS wants you to pay for their thing, but it's something like. But I could no, it was Philo that didn't have Channel 11 or something. It was one of them. So I got one of the other stations so I can watch Big Brother and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So
Well, we used to have satellite back in the days, and that's back when Oprah was on, and the satellite kept going out doing Oprah wasn't
you
recording.
sneeze and the satellite goes out.
Yeah, my wife like, no, get rid of it. I'm like, all right, because she was like, they messing with Oprah. We got to get rid of them.
Yeah, satellite
And
was unpredictable. But it would be funny. It's like we'd be in a windstorm. And I was like, oh, now you don't want to go out. But then it's like clear and sunny. A leaf blow on it, and it's like, what is clear? Why are you going out?
a bird decided to go sit on it. Be
Yeah,
like,
like anything. It's just like so random. Hated satellite, but
so
I'm happy with my streaming.
well, that's cool. Now, if you know one of the best streaming service around for the price, the low price, uh,
Mhm.
and you can send us email and we can look into it. Um,
Yeah, I
also,
think
if
the most expensive, like if you go streaming, is gonna be your internet.
internet, sir,
Yeah, because you need the Wi-Fi connection and unlimited data, which most companies offer. But like AT&T, when I had it, they made you keep basic to keep, but you were gonna pay $100 regardless. It's like $20 for your basic channels, and then the internet service. Then when
yeah,
you got rid of them, I was like, get y'all, but you're gonna pay for that unlimited data.
I think what we're looking at is because actually we had some technology added to the house and we had to upgrade the internet. And when we upgraded, I'm like, hell, it seemed like it worked worse than what it did before. So and I'm like, okay, so we just deal with it. But if we can find a service that is real powerful for the low price, keyword low,
Like
uh
half of what you paying now.
yeah, because it's an arm and a leg. Just
Like
for
I tell
cable
y'all
and
stuff, I'm still coming out on top. I'm like, I'm saving $100.
well, see, we also have a phone service we don't even use. Every once in a while, it may ring because one of those letters may come in from one of those foreign country telling me, I would love to leave you my inheritance.
Like, here's my cash app.
Yeah, I've been I've been getting a lot of emails like that lately. Like every day I get spam mail like, "Hello, dear. My name
I don't even
is."
read them. I just delete.
I it go to spam, so I delete it, keep on moving.
I'm
But
garbage.
Miss Risky. It been wonderful. It
Mhm.
had a good time tonight. Um, let the people know where they could catch you at.
On the street corner of, no, I'm just kidding.
All right. Don't
No,
let me roll by and see you on
every
the street corner. I'm gonna pull out some
RSKEE.
newspaper.
No, anything that gets me off my sofa, I ain't doing it. But RSKEE, I'm everywhere. Instagram is my home away from home. So you can follow me on two of my pages and hit me up. You can look at my books on rskeebooks.com. Again, Amazon or any online vendor, you can find my works.
Said books.com.
Yes, rskeebooks.com.
Okay. Um, nice seeing you again, Radio Chaos. You can find me on Facebook. Well, I'm not gonna say Facebook. You can find me on social media. I will be around. Um, you can Instagram. The best way of catching me is sending me a message, DM me, because I get a notification for that. But as for phone calls, texts, it's hit and miss. Not unless I'm just at a quiet time at that time. But other than that, you can catch me on social media. I love to talk if I have time. So this past couple of weeks, I've been very busy, but um, definitely reach out to me. If it's something you want to hear on the show, you're more than welcome to um, send me a message. Say, hey, let's talk about this, talk about that. We are working on some new things coming up for the new year. If you would like to be a contestant, maybe trying to find the love of your life. Right now, the virtual thing is the best thing. I mean, it's safer. Don't be like the swingers in New Orleans. It's safer to come on here, let us do the background check of the person and see. One thing about doing it would eliminate someone from lying to you and trying to cheat and get it done because they would be live on camera. And somebody see they doing it, knowing they married, they gonna be exposed. So this would be the safest way to keep all the drama down. And also um, try to set it up where y'all could go out on a date on Valentine Day. And if the pandemic is not going on. So
It
other than that,
will.
yeah,
Mm,
this is
never.
the time to do it. So um, but we here I'm here Sunday through Thursday on 8 p.m. Central Time. Miss Risky is here on Thursdays. Um, always interact with the show, come out. And also, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, if you follow me on those, go to the my profile and check out the merchandise. We will be adding more merchandise. Tomorrow is the last day you could get the shipping before Christmas, regular shipping. And after that, you will have to do express. It's a little couple of dollars more to do the express before Christmas, but it's worth it. We will be adding more merchandise, and right now you can get a 20% discount. Just use the code Curtdog, CURTDOG, and you'll get 20% off. So go ahead and do your Christmas shopping with a small black-owned business. Support the show. But other than that, we appreciate you, everyone that came into the chat tonight. Radio, G-Man Money, House of Elijah Deliverance Ministry in Houston, Texas. Uh, Marcellus JT123L, uh, TCal. And if I miss your name, it's nothing personal. So, and everyone else that I said I didn't see you come in. I appreciate y'all for listening. And also, A couple of birthdays. Got a couple of messages earlier. Maisha Norman, happy birthday to you. Uh, and also Sandra um, Sandra Jeffries. I almost forgot her name. Happy birthday to you. Received the message earlier that it was your birthdays. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed it, being safe. Uh, until Sunday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Love each and every one of you. Until then, peace.